and get in a ton of trouble. Playing with
He stood over his golf ball on the 17th hole at Royal Birkdale, and he told his own security guard to stop looking for it. Not because he'd given up, because finding it was the last thing he wanted to happen. That single moment, a champion waving people away from his own lost ball, would spend the next 72 hours ripping through the golf world like wildfire. Not because anyone broke a rule, because of what it revealed about a rule that everyone had simply stopped questioning. Let's go back to the beginning of that Sunday. Scottie Scheffler, the world #1 defending champion, 6 shots off the lead. Most players crumble under that kind of deficit on the final day of a major. Scheffler didn't. He came out swinging, 3 birdies in his first 5 holes, clawing his way back into contention shot by shot. By the time he reached the back 9, the leaderboard was shaking. But golf has a way of making you pay for greatness with mistakes. 2 bogeys crept in at the worst possible time, at the 13th and the 15th, and just like that, the charge stalled. Meanwhile, in the clubhouse, Cameron Young had already posted 9 under par. The number was set. Scheffler knew exactly what he needed. Birdie, birdie, 2 holes left, 2 shots to find, the margin between glory and a quiet flight home. And then the 17th hole happened. His tee shot leaked left into the thick fescue, landing at the base of one of Birkdale's massive sand dunes. A blind shot. No line, no visibility, nothing but instinct and nerve. The smart play, the safe play, was a simple wedge back into the fairway. Scheffler didn't take the safe play. He pulled out a 3-wood. It was a gamble, and gambles like that either become legend or become disaster. This one became disaster. Fast. The ball skipped off the turf, shot left, cleared the grandstand entirely, and vanished into a fenced-off hospitality zone behind the green. Some reports said it finished 30 yards offline. Others said it was nearly 100. Whatever the exact number, one thing was certain. The ball was gone, and so, it seemed, was his tournament. He knew it too. He hit a provisional ball. The shot you play only when you believe your original is lost or out of bounds. In that moment, Scottie Scheffler expected to be punished. He expected the dream of defending his title to be over. Then something strange happened. He never needed that provisional ball at all. Here's why. In modern professional golf, grandstands, hospitality tents, broadcast towers, all of it counts as temporary infrastructure, structures built purely for tournament week and torn down right after. The rule book calls them temporary immovable obstructions, and it protects players from being punished by structures that didn't even exist a week earlier. Buried inside that rule is something extraordinary. If it's virtually certain the ball came to rest inside that obstruction zone, a player doesn't even have to find the golf ball. He can simply take relief. And on the 17th hole at Birkdale, officials and his caddy were confident enough. The ball had cleared the fence line. That was enough to trigger the rule. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Scheffler had a choice. He asked the rules official directly, "If I find the ball, does that help me?" The answer was yes. It could move him 50 yards closer to the hole. But it also might force him to drop from a much worse angle on the other side of the obstruction, staring down a shot he didn't like. So he made his decision. He turned to the people standing near where the ball had landed, his own longtime security guard and a broadcaster standing beside him, and he told them plainly, "Stop. Do not find this golf ball." Every part of that decision was legal. Every part of that decision was also, to a huge portion of the golf world, deeply unsettling. He walked back to the estimated point of entry, dropped under the rule, and from there hit a wedge to 11 feet. He rolled in the putt. Birdie. 8 under par. A wild, wayward, nearly disastrous tee shot had just become one of the best holes of his tournament. And later that day, almost as if fate wanted to rub salt in the wound, the ball was found. Right where they'd been told not to look. The backlash was instant, and it wasn't really about Scheffler at all. Golf analysts, led by voices like Ryan Lavner, weren't accusing him of cheating. They were furious at the rule itself. How, in this era of professional golf, can a player hit an almost indefensible shot, lose the ball completely, and still walk away with a great look at the green and a bogey? Where's the penalty for the mistake? Because think about the ordinary golfer. Play that same shot on any regular Tuesday at Birkdale, with no grandstands, no hospitality tents, no fencing, and you lose your ball. Period. You walk back, replay the shot, and absorb the full penalty of stroke and distance. But inside the walls of a major championship, that same disaster transforms into a gift. And this wasn't even the first time. Scheffler himself admitted he'd used this exact loophole earlier that year, calling it something he wasn't proud of, but was familiar with. Other players had leaned on it too. There's even a name for deliberately aiming shots into grandstands to exploit favorable drops, backboarding. It's become a quiet, accepted strategy, one that some feel bends the spirit of the game without technically breaking it. All of this landed in a week already thick with rules controversy. Just 2 days earlier, Bryson DeChambeau had been hit with a 2-stroke penalty for accidentally flattening grass behind his ball in the rough, a moment officials called clear-cut and unavoidable. Scheffler, when asked about it, defended his rival's character completely, insisting DeChambeau wasn't the kind of player to cheat. But the irony hung in the air. One player penalized for barely touching grass by accident. Another player who lost his ball entirely and told witnesses not to find it, walking away penalty-free. Same tournament, same rulebook, 2 wildly different outcomes. In the end, none of it decided the championship. Scheffler bogeyed the final hole and finished tied for 4th. Ryan Fox birdied the last hole to win it all, 1 shot ahead of Cameron Young. The controversy on the 17th never touched the trophy. But that's exactly what makes it dangerous. Because next time, the margins might not be so forgiving. Next time, a lost ball and a quiet request to stop searching might be the difference between second place and a major championship. So the real question isn't whether Scottie Scheffler did anything wrong. Almost everyone agrees he didn't. The real question is this: should losing your golf ball completely ever be worth more than finding it?